What's up? What's up? It's your man, Jimmy Chan. All right, so let's get this going because let's try to keep it below 5 minutes and it should be below 1 or 2. So here we go. So you asked a question about when you consider designing HyFlex course for your institution, what challenges seems to be most difficult to address? What can you do to start overcoming? So here is the problem, right? I brought up in the last class about assessments, and given the fact that at our school we have a common final, which is a multiple choice exam, which is proctored, right? So those are for the asynchronous students, and for the synchronous students, we do them right in class, which is also proctored as well. So it's not necessarily different, but the issue is going to be for the asynchronous with the Proctorio and ProctorU. And then the other thing that was brought up that is going to be a concern down the road is going to be ChatGPT, and which is for all the students, right? In terms of not just the photo math or anything else, but heck, ChatGPT is not just a concern for math, but for all sorts of disciplines, right? English, it's going to be a write an English paper for you. And for the next person asking pretty much the same question, it's going to write a different paper with different references, with different everything else for them, right? If you're saying 500 letters, it's going to give you that. If you ask it to give you a protocol for, something, some kind of emergency, it's going to give it to you pretty much on par, right? And in fact, in our meeting when we talked about ChatGPT, like it was like a thumbs up in terms of everything that you asked it, right? The only right now in terms of math, it's having a little bit of a hard time, but I'm sure that the next couple of versions, it will be caught up, right? So what can I do? Well, I can be open. I don't mind being open to other forms of assessment that does not require proctoring. And then the hardest part is going to be convincing the math department, all type A's, right? That and old school, like super duper old school, that we should find a way to assess our students without a common final, or at least do a common final doesn't need to be proctored, right? And then for the ChatGPT, maybe we can ask Bill Gates to just let it go and kill it after he acquires it, which we know that Bill Gates would not be doing that since he's spending billions and billions and billions of dollars for ChatGPT. So what do we already have in place, however, in terms of trying to get this HyFlex course? So our IT department has been phenomenal, right? They're giving us tech that for us to try. So anything that I can search online that is possibly going to enhance my teaching or my delivery to any of my students at home or online, they're getting. And then any kind of tech that we need. So for me, it's this iPad right here, right? Everything I teach is going to be on this iPad. So they got that for me. And anything else that I need, they have delivered. Including the Ozbot that you see that I use during class. And the important part is that so we can deliver our content with our teaching style. And that's the biggest part. Now, our TLC, Teaching Learning Center department, has been amazing as well. They're having tech champs, which is everything that you see over here on the right-hand side, right? And there's more to come. There's also a Zoom one that comes out. There is Flex Champs as well, which is not showing on here because I'm part of that and we have not yet created a toolkit, so that's why it's not showing here. However, a Tech Champ is basically a faculty member who might be a pro with a certain program or an app to teach and support others who might want to incorporate that in their Canvas, right? So for me, the H5P has been very interesting to me, but I don't know if I want to necessarily incorporate it. But the Design Plus has been amazing. It's something that I would love for every single professor to add into their Canvas, because it'll give modules a little more life to it, more color to it, more pizzazz to it, right? and then, and so on and so forth. But, obviously Turnitin is not necessary for math, but I mean, there's a bunch of different things that we've been kind of doing. In fact, Pear Deck is something that I've been trying to include in my lectures and different type of assessments as well, right? And then there is also, what was the other one? Whiteboard.fi is something else that I've been using to kind of help with, seeing what the students are doing at home in terms of their work, so I can actually help correct them. All right. So Flex Champs. So Joe Hummel, who has taken this course, I think 2 cycles ago, and myself have been asked to be Flex Champs. So what do? We showcase the different tech that IT currently has, right? We also so we put on showcases all the time for the school. We also teach and support who are, any faculty members who are ready to transition from a ground only to actually be willing to teach a synchronous some kind of hybrid, which we call live flex modality. So if they're ready to do that, we are there to support them and kind of find a technology that will keep their teaching style intact, one step at a time. I know that it would be great for us to get to the high flex area, but right now we're really only at the live flex area. And like I said to you guys before, I'm now starting to be comfortable after teaching about 2 years of live flex, right? I'm finally starting to get to the point where I'm comfortable on getting towards high flex. So the problem is that many of the professors are not even open to just live flex. So it's going to be very difficult to get a whole department or even one class's department, if that makes any sense, one class of faculty members to want to all go to high flex. I think the biggest part is that I would have to kind of create the course, deliver the course, and show that the success would be the same. So when you were talking about what do you think is the most important for you or your institution to evaluate after you implemented high flex in the course or program, can your design support that evaluation? So number one, my biggest evaluation is how well are my students prepared for the next class, right? So that's always been on my mind. I don't want the next professor to say that Chan is absolutely useless and teach the students nothing. I'm hoping to have students that if they forgot, they are willing to stand up and say, Chan did a great job, I forgot. I need some assistance, right? Who are willing to ask for help when it's needed, who are willing to say, it's on me. The second is, how did the success rate of my high flex class compare to the other modalities that I offer, right? So I don't want to compare it to other folks. I want to compare it to when I deliver a high flex, how did that compare to my live flex classes, right? So I want to compare apples with apples. And I think that's going to be important to show not just my students, but also the head of the department, the dean, and so on and so forth. And then I was thinking about having a survey or having a discussion set in Canvas about asking these questions, but my fear is that the student might not be totally honest. I think I have many students that are very honest with me in terms of how bad my Canvas page is or how great my Canvas page is. They're pretty darn honest with me because when they've been with me, they understand that I'm just looking for input. There's always people that are not necessarily feeling that way. So maybe having our e-learning department put out a survey for my students about their thoughts, right, on equitability of the course, the clarity of instruction, and their relationship with math after my class. Now, so why did I say relationship with math? Because most of the students I have hate math, feel like they can't learn math, right? After they leave me, I want them to say, you know what? I don't hate math. I had a bad experience with math. I can learn math. It takes me a little extra time. And that is eventually, that is really the way I evaluate myself every single semester. And when they are able to say that, it tells me that they are also ready for the next class of the math sequence. So that is my 2 cents, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. So please have a wonderful, blessed day. Please be safe. Love you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.